Now, people, Member of Parliament Lisa Hanna says she is transitioning and retiring from politics. She said it has been a great 18 years and she would not have traded it for anything else. So, as she moves into this new phase, she said she thought it would be fun for her to go back and look at the other phases in her life just to share the moments that meant a lot to her with you.
I know most of you know that I'm transitioning and retiring from politics. It's been a great 18 years. Would not have traded it for anything, the good, the bad, the intriguing, you name it. So as I move into this new phase, I thought it would be fun for me to go back and look at some of the other phases in my life that have meant a lot to me and to show you some pictures and tell you what I felt and where those moments were. Okay. So, oh wow. This picture was when I had basically finished Miss World. Thin eyebrows were in. I think I took out too much in the arch. And this picture was actually a photo shoot that I did with one of my German Shepherds. I must have been like maybe 1920, I think. And for some reason, it ended up on the cover of a tourism Jamaica book printed by one of the publishers. I don't know how they got it. And I remember asking them, well, how did you get this picture and why is it there and you haven't compensated me for it at all? And they said, well, your father just gave us a picture. We asked him for a picture and he gave us. And I was like, really? So it's in all the airports. People, I never gave them permission. They're using it. But you know what? It is what it is. I think because my father gave it to them, I kind of, or so they said, I just felt, all right, if daddy did that, then let him rest in peace with it. This one, wow. This one, there was the morning after Miss World. I remember it well because it was a whole thing. And it was the champagne breakfast of Miss World. This is like, you know, how Miss World wakes up in the morning. And I remember saying, but I don't drink champagne. I don't drink alcohol. Yeah, that bracelet I remember very well because one of the janitors in the room that took care of our rooms gave it to me because she said, I know you're going to win, and she blessed it and she gave it to me. And so that was before I won. And so I felt I wanted to wear it. But if you notice, I was kind of standing there like, why? Because most of you know men is like, why am I here? What am I doing? But it was a great morning. It was November 28th, 1993, the morning after I won. This picture was at King's House. This was a swearing in of Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller after we won the election in December 2011. And it was special because I remember I worked my ass off in that election. I was region chair for Region 1. I helped to take back 2 seats from the JLP because we beat them, and we took back Northwest, Southwest. We had 3 seats in St. Anne, and I just remember I remember being very tired in this picture because Louise made my dress, but it was I was coming out of that campaign, running, you know, hills and valleys and organization and late nights to now putting on and being glamorous. And it felt a little strange, getting dressed up again and having the hair done. My mother did my hair. And of course, I have on the Wonder Woman cuff, but yeah, loved it. Great time. Ah, wow. This now is in September 1993. I had just won Miss Jamaica. I was just turned 18. And CPTC came to the house to do a kind of like a film, a day in the life of Lisa Hanna. And yeah, and so they wanted to see my karate trophies, certificates. And so I was standing proudly with some of my karate trophies. And my mother and father had done like this mantle. It was weird. Bless my father's heart. He bought this antique mahogany kind of mantelpiece that all my trophies went into and everything went into. So when you came into the house, there was there was all of Lisa's trophies, all of her certificates, all of her weapons went in there, nunchucks, things that, the different grading belts from karate, whatever it was, any accolade, my parents put it in there. And then, yeah, so that was that. And then all the certificates were hung over that. Wow, this was walking to Parliament, I think, after I just cut my hair and people didn't recognize me. So I debuted that. It was a cool haircut. I don't think I would have done it again. Yeah, move on. Okay, this is maybe 2002 or Voices. That show with that I did with Carlene. Enjoyed it, and it was great. It was one of those things where people questioned the friendship, the culture, the cultural appropriation of, how could of these people be friends or whatever it was. And it was good. It was good for a while it lasted when there were less streaming sites, no social media really at the time, and people were more affixed to local programming and what was happening. Oh God, this is just bad makeup. Ugh, ugh. But it was an important picture because that was the day I was being sworn in as a Minister of Youth and Culture, and that I was now placed in the Prime Minister and the government's cabinet, which was a big deal. I was 32. I was now going to be in charge of managing the country's culture, Jamaica 50 celebrations. Lord, that was a big responsibility for someone just being thrust into that, and that came with its own thing. Oh, look at this. This was, as you can see, the late Governor General Sir Howard Cook, lovely man, sweet. The late Whitcliffe Bennett, Yvonne, who I used to host Rapping with, and Mr. Bennett's wife. And this event Mr. Bennett had put together for me because I was now Miss World, and he was very proud that his own little Lisa, who started with rapping at 14, being a host, and he saw develop through high school, had now gone on the world stage, and now was carrying Jamaica's flag high, and certainly CPTC's flag high, and everything like that. So it was kind of an evening of excellence that he had, and invited all of the CPTC crew and everybody else to be there, and other people that I had worked with in voice and speech and theater and television, etc. This picture is the official ministerial picture that hung in all of the agencies under the Ministry of Youth and Culture. It was the official government picture. My hair was a lot shorter, it was on my shoulder. That dress was made by Louise, and it was the dress that I debated in. It was the dress I wore in the national debates. Did pretty well in those debates, actually. And I just thought, let me just put it on for the official picture. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, those are some of the moments. I mean, there's so many more. And if you have pictures, old pictures of me that maybe you've had, just DM me or send them in or email them, and let me see what you have over the years. It's been an incredible journey growing up in front of you and with you, and I look forward to sharing that next phase with you.